Hi there, it's Jay here. Today we will be looking at how to implement LAMP stack, which can be used to run dynamic websites and web applications. So the LAMP actually stands for Linux, Apache, MySQL and PHP. The P sometimes stands for Perl or Python. It really depends. We'll be implementing PHP here. So implementing literally just means that we will be installing all four of these technologies on our system. First, we will be installing Linux, more specifically Kali Linux. So we will be running that virtually. If you don't know what that is, it literally means that we will be running Kali Linux inside an operating system. So you don't have to remove your existing operating system and install Linux. You could just install Linux like it's an application. So we need a few things for that. First thing is VirtualBox, which is a hypervisor software, which literally means that it is going to help you to run an operating system or Kali Linux in our case virtually. So you could just type or search VirtualBox on Chrome or any other browser, and this is the link that you have to look for. This is the official website. You have to click Oracle VirtualBox, then download. Then this is the option that you will be given. Here you could see a few operating system options. In here you have to select the appropriate operating system that you want. So in my case it will be Windows. When I click it, it will automatically start the download, as you could see. Then one more thing that you have to do is you also have to download this file. So you would just read this and click accept and download. So you could see that there are two files that's being downloaded. So as you could see, the two files have been downloaded. So the next thing to do is to install this file, the .exe file. Keep this in mind, you have to install this file first, because when installing the second file, it is going to open inside the VirtualBox software. So you have to install that software first. So go ahead and install the VirtualBox .exe file. I'm not going to show you that because I have already installed this in my system. So it's not going to let me install it once again. So it's just straightforward. You just have to install it like you install any other application. So after that you have to go on and install the second file. So you just double click on the second file and it's going to open up the VirtualBox application with a window like this. But the difference is going to be here. It just shows upgrade in my case, but it's probably going to be installed on your case because I have already installed all of these files. So that's why it's showing upgrade instead of install. So it's probably going to be the same. In my case, I'm just going to hit upgrade and it's going to show the license. You just read that and I agree. After completing the installation, your VirtualBox is going to look something like this. It's going to be a little bit different here because these are the virtual operating systems that I already have. You will not have this because this section is going to be plain. You have to add that, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So now you have to go back to your browser. In the browser, you could type Kali Linux, or you could go straight to their website. It's on kali.org. So this is the link. So you just click that. In there you just click the download button. Then in this you get a few options, but in our case we are going to select this option because we are using that or we are installing that in a virtual machine. So you just click that, and here you are going to select the appropriate one. So this depends on the hypervisor you are using. You could have VMware, VirtualBox, Hyper-V, QEMU, or whatever you want, but in our case it's VirtualBox, so we are going to download this file. So it is 3.4 GB, so it's going to take a few minutes, so I'm going to let it download. So after downloading, you will be given this zip file. You have to extract that. So you would just right click or use any software you want to extract it. So I'm going to use WinRAR. So it's going to take a little bit of time. So after the extraction is completed, you could see this folder. You have to open that and you will see these two files in there. You don't have to install this here or do anything here. You just have to extract that and just check if these two files are there. So now you have to open VirtualBox. So I'm going to open VirtualBox now. So all you have to do is, in these few options you have to hit add, then navigate to the folder that you have extracted earlier, and when you are in the folder you could see one of those two files that you saw earlier. So you just select that and hit open. I am not going to open this because if I do, it's going to show me an error or show me a fail message, because this file is already being used. So you just hit open, and after that you would just see not one of these options, you would see an option similar to this show up on the left side of your VirtualBox. So that means your system is actually running right now. So what you have to do is you just hit start. So this is actually going to start your Linux machine or Kali Linux. You could see that it's starting up. It might take a few minutes, but it will start up. So if it shows an error, that was not an error. But if this shows an error, you just close this instance and just restart it. So by default, it is actually going to ask for a username and password. So the default username and password are Kali, and the password is also Kali. So this might not look the same to you because I have been using this machine for a while, and there are a few files that I have downloaded or created. So yeah, that's how you install Kali Linux virtually in your system. So now you have to install the other three softwares or other three technologies. For that you have to open the terminal. So you could either open this icon, and if you don't see this icon here, you could actually hit the window key and type terminal, and this is the one you have to open. So you open the terminal, then you have to type sudo apt install apache 2, then press enter. It's going to ask for the password, then it might ask for permissions. You just hit y and enter. So this might take a few minutes or it might not, you just have to wait. To make sure that Apache is set up correctly or installed correctly, you could use the which command. That would go which apache 2 and press enter. And if it shows something like this, that means it have been installed, or if it doesn't, it would probably show something like command not found or something like that. So since this is what it have outputted, that means it have been installed correctly. That does not mean that it is running. So to run this, you have to type sudo systemctl start apache 2, press enter. And to make sure that it have started, or to see if it have started or not, you could use the command sudo systemctl status apache 2. So when I press enter, you could see that it is active. If it is not active, that means it is not running. And to actually make sure that it's running, or to see it running, you could open the browser and go to localhost, or you could type the IP 127.0.0.1, which is the IP of the localhost, and press enter. And you see this page. That means Apache is running correctly. And one more thing that you have to make sure you have to do is, as you could see here, it says disabled, which actually means that each time you want to use Apache, you have to open a terminal and run this command, which is the sudo systemctl start apache 2 command. So that actually starts the Apache application. And if you want Apache to start running each time you boot your virtual machine, you could actually execute the sudo systemctl enable Apache 2, command and press enter. And if you run the status command one more time, you could see that it's enabled. So that means each time you boot up your virtual machine, it is automatically going to also boot up Apache too. So after Apache, you are going to install MySQL. So to do that, you just type sudo apt install MySQL dash server, and we are also going to put a dash y flag at the end. That is going to prevent the system from prompting us for the yes or no permission to continue or any other permission. So I'm going to press enter. So it might also take a bit of time. So you might have to enter the root password, or it is going, you don't, it doesn't have to be the same password you gave at the beginning when you open the operating system. You could give any password you want, but you have to remember that you are going to need that after a while, when you want to access the database, or you want to execute some query or create tables or do whatever you want. So I am going to give the password, press OK. I'm going to have to re-enter it. You could just select any of this. I'm going to select the first option, use strong password encryption, press enter. So I am not going to go too much in detail into what these options are or what these tools and all. So if you want, you could actually give me a comment and I will actually make a video on what you want to know. Same thing before we are going to see if MySQL is installed correctly. So I'm going to type which. So yeah, it's installed correctly. So now we are going to do the same thing that we did earlier. As you could see, the MySQL server is not running right now because let me show you. You could see that it's inactive and disabled. So I'm going to activate it or start it. So I'm going to type, instead of status, it's going to start, hit enter. Then check the status. Yeah, it's active. So it's still disabled. So if you want to start your MySQL server each time you boot up your Kali system, you have to enable it. So that would be sudo systemctl enable MySQL. Then I'm going to press enter. Now it's enabled. So each time I turn on my Kali Linux, it's going to also start MySQL. So now we are going to install PHP. So you are going to type sudo apt install php -y and press enter. Yeah, that took a while to install. So yeah, I'm going to check if it's installed correctly. Yeah, it's installed correctly. So yeah, now we have implemented Linux, Apache, MySQL and PHP successfully in our system. In the second video, I will be showing you how to actually make this work together, or how to set each one of them, not install them, but to set each one of them and use them. So yeah, all of the comments that I have used will be available on the description. So if you want, you could just check it out, or you could also copy from there and use it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.